Hello! Welcome to episode 126 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome our various life issues and obstacles and everything that could possibly get in the way. And we try to get something done, Steven. Mostly we've been trying to make comic books together since high school. Most recently, we've been doing a pretty good job. We're doing it. We are working really hard on issue 2 of Deathless. We're getting ready to launch our second Kickstarter for it, which is going to be out March 4th. How are you feeling?
March 4th for our dreams. I'm feeling better now.
Yeah.
Obviously I've had things come in the way. January hasn't been the best month, but I got, like I've said, I have those roughs going, and I completely finalized page 2, and I'm already working on page 3. I can send you that tonight too.
Oh,
so you can post what I've done if you want to.
Those pages look amazing. We're getting to the point, like, I don't think the Dungeons and Dragons stuff is so spoilery or anything, so it's like, it's okay. I think we can share some of that stuff and maybe get people excited for issue 2 as it's coming out. I'm very close to finishing coloring the first page. There's a lot. I mean, all of the characters have like special costumes and stuff that we've never seen before. So it's like a lot
fun.
of it's so much fun.
I really like M's costume too. Like,
yes.
in that page, like her staff is pretty epic, and then like just the way her dress flows and stuff, it's cool.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love those characters so much, and like I love that they have this like alter ego that's just as cool, if not cooler, than their other forms. So it's like so far I've liked every iteration that we have of these characters. So it's just like this is a good book so far.
So what we're basically saying, Bandai or Hasbro, is that like if you purchase the merchandising rights to Deathless, there's more. How like there was Astronaut Raphael and Detective Donatello.
Right,
we got these things. You got the D&D versions, you got the demon versions, you got the regular versions of them. I mean, you can
absolutely
market these things, baby.
Oh, it's super marketable, thankfully. No, I will. We were actually talking about that earlier today, just about how we're finding a way to have a 3D printed barreled, which is going to be super cool. I cannot wait to have a little barreled statue.
Dude, that guy was so cool that he actually told me, he goes, actually, before you pay me to do anything, there's this amazing app on iPad that you should mess with, since you're so good at drawing as it is. Like, it's so easy to use. So he's basically like, listen, you can pay me, I'll still do it, but play with this app first. And I'm like, true that, dude. Thank you. Like, it was just met him in the Deer Hunter fan page. Yeah. So of course it's just two creatives like actually being cool.
I love that. I love when you meet people who are just kind of like anti-gatekeeping, who are just like, hey, I have this knowledge that I've acquired over this long career. Here's some of it, as much of it as you can fit in your in your squeeze box up there, and like whatever sticks. I'm here for you. And I love doing that for each other. It's so cool,
dude. He was so awesome from the start. But I even told him, I'm like, dude, too, whatever you want to charge me, like I do commissions too. I get it, man. Artists always try to undercharge for their work and stuff. Like, I will pay you if I can't figure this out. I'm coming back to you is basically what I said.
Yeah, 100%, dude, and that's amazing. So you got a lot of stuff done this week, especially all things considered, and I got most of the first page colored. I'm definitely gonna finish it this week, so I'm gonna try to finish. I mean, we'll get to that later on, but I'm getting a lot done. This is my like major productive week, so I should be able to get everything. Everything.
This process is also so much more lean and so much more connected than the previous issue. Like, you're basically flatting as the inks are finishing now. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's literally gonna. Like, once I'm done drawing, the book is gonna be like 95% done at that point, because shading doesn't take nearly as long for some reason. It just doesn't.
No. So yeah. So I mean, we're getting to our process is there, and it's really good, and we're obviously showing that we're able to work through a lot of issues. Which I think we should give like a quick warning. Stephen went through a bit of some a bit of family trauma. Recently, and we're going to talk about it briefly. And, so I just want anyone who's, sensitive to, pets and like the loss of a pet and that sort of thing, just heed that. I'll put some, chapter select so you can skip over this part if you want, but anyway, it's something that I think is important. So we should probably talk about it, dude. First of all, I love you. And oh God, man. So what happened?
So Eleanor is she was really like Tina and I's like she's almost as old as our relationship, or was almost as old as our relationship.
Yeah.
Tina and I were dating for about a year when this litter of puppies showed up on her doorstep at the house she was staying at. And they all came from Arizona, and they were just trying to get rid of them. So, Tina adopted this little puppy, and she was the runt of the litter. Her name was originally Lady Marmalade, but everyone started calling her Lady. So Tina's like, no, her name's Lady Marmalade. I'm just going to call her Eleanor. So that way, granted, she was called many things throughout her life, pumpkin butt and a bunch of different. Actually, her full name, if I can recite it perfectly, is Eleanor Pumpkin Butt Danger Sandra Bullock Jenkins Burchetta -Todd, because we weren't married when we first had her, so that was her full name. But
I love it.
yeah,
And that's
so
as every good pet should be. Like that's
for sure. And so I mean, we've been noticing things for like the last few months where random like panting and breathing issues, and like the fatty tumors on her body are everywhere now, and her legs are getting smaller, like her hind legs were getting smaller, and it just like culminated not this past Friday, but the Friday before, like the Friday before, she basically like fell and then just couldn't really get back up. Like, it was just like kind of, she could if you helped her, but she was like laying in one spot. So that Friday, Tina basically took off work, and I was working when she told me that, because she was going to go to work, and then that happened. But it was pretty amazing, because like everyone loved Eleanor. So like Jill, like her mom, Tina's mom, Ricky came, all like Tina's brother's family came, Josh stopped by, Brandon came by after work. Like basically, like she just had this really good, amazing like goodbye party, basically. And the plan was to euthanize her on that coming Monday, but like 12 o'clock on Friday, like she was just, I mean, like just laying there was too difficult, and like we just made the decision. Like, kids were asleep, I couldn't go, but even though Eleanor was as much my dog as it was Tina's, it was definitely, that was Tina and Eleanor. Like, I mean, they lived together, because Tina and I didn't live together at first. So I told Tina, I'm like, I feel so bad not being able to go with you, but like I feel like if I take her, it just doesn't feel right. Like, so she took Eleanor, and she had to drive all the way to Daniels, almost to the airport, to find a place. And she, put her down, because she was but she was like, I don't know, man. It was like, Eleanor was always an anxious dog at vets and stuff, but like, it's like she must have known what was happening or something, because like she was so peaceful, so awesome. She got to eat all the pork. I don't know. I was telling everybody how I was sous videing those amazing pork chops, and I sous videed 4 amazing pork chops and like cooked them off on the cast iron. And then I put them in Ziplocs to eat them for the week. And I'm like, nah, Eleanor's getting these pork chops. This is her last day. So she literally ate all 4 badass pork chops.
That's amazing.
She was at the vet. Tina had the last pork chop, and she gave it to her right before the needle went in. And Eleanor like almost choked on it, like she's tried to swallow the pork chop whole. But yeah, so dude, like, of course it was sad for me. Like, I mean, I was
yeah.
I'm how we are sometimes. Like, I definitely did cry for a second, but then I'm immediately in damage control mode for everybody else that's in pain. So like Cambria and Chase, didn't actually get to say like a true goodbye because they were asleep. They did say goodbye that day, but so when Cambria and Chase woke up, we of course had to tell them that, hey, the dog that's been with you since you were born, and like every picture Tina has of you as a toddler has Eleanor right there, like guarding you. Like, yeah, she had to go. And Chase is very much like me and processes things like as things like outside of your control. Like, she just understands. But Cambria is like just lamenting. Like I felt so bad. Cambria was like tying her shoes. I think it was like a day or two after it happened. And Cambria was tying her shoes, and she leaned back, and the couch pillow brushed her. And Eleanor always laid there, and Cambria would always like lean back. And so she like had like this brief moment of excitement thinking Eleanor was behind her. And then like, as she's turning, she's having the realization that Eleanor's, gone. And like, she just started crying. Like, Cambria's had a hard time with it, big time. Tina's had a hard time with it. And it's been rough, of course. Samuel stepped up to the plate, though. He really has. He was sad too. That was like, even like watching my kids and Tina was hard. But then like Samuel, Mr. Husky, wants to mess with Eleanor all the time, get her to play, do all this stuff. Eleanor had this spot by our side of the bed that night, blankets, and she had an Elmo doll. And when Tina came home and Eleanor wasn't with her, Samuel usually sleeps in his kennel. Like he just walks in there on his own, and just lays there, open door. But that night he like laid where Eleanor was, and then the Elmo doll she had was actually in Tina's car, and then Tina had brought it in but left it in the living room. He actually went out and got the Elmo doll and like laid it in the spot where Eleanor was and just
Oh my
laid in that
god.
spot. And it was like watching this husky go through like the stages of grief was
Yeah.
rough too, man. Like poor little boy doesn't understand anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so rough because like we kind of we have that in common. We've talked about it a lot, where it's like there's like a compartmentalization thing that happens, and it's just like this is the way that I kind of have to operate right now, and it just kind of happens naturally. It's not even like it's like this weird switch thing. So it's just, but it's so odd to go through that, but also be open, like receptive to everyone else and how they're grieving and going through things, and I mean. I'm kind of thankful. Like it's weird, right? Because like when you try to communicate that with people, there's not always like an understanding, and because there's like a whole spectrum of I don't know, different forms of like the way you receive experiences, the way you experience things. There's this whole spectrum of how you can, define any given moment. And like some people have a really hard time with seeing the differences without feeling that it's like invalidating their experience. But I kind of appreciate where we end up sometimes because it gives us that kind of like, I mean, not removed, but like it allows us like a bit of objectivity so we can take care of people who otherwise couldn't take care of themselves in those
and
moments.
and we're not douchebags with that objectivity, because that's what
Yes.
there are, those people that compartmentalize like we do, but
I,
they also have no empathy, so they just like
absolutely.
look
Yeah.
down at others for being, like,
Yes.
why are you crying right now? You knew this was coming, like,
Oh,
like
no. Of
like,
course.
and
Yeah.
there
I
are,
know
they
exactly.
exist, what I'm saying,
Yes.
like those people exist,
I,
so
I
it's
guess.
like
Yeah, I guess it's like as long as people aren't defined in every case, as long as people aren't defining everyone as like the worst version of the thing. Like, you and I, we try, given whatever situation and whatever we have and whatever mentality, we have or disposition, to still be our best, selves and do what we can for the people around us and who we love. We are not those people. We are not the douchebag people, and it's like it's nice that you can do that, and like I'm sure Tina and the girls appreciate the heck out of you being there. That's it's so hard, dude.
and it's hard to make choices and calls in those
Oh,
moments for people like that experience their emotions like that too, and it's
yeah,
they like it's just a nice balance basically. And then like
yeah,
I'll grieve in my own ways. Like I have my own ways of dealing with it. I don't need assistance at all. Like I can
yeah.
like kind of like just open that box and like kind of like sift around it. And like,
Yes, yeah.
Mike, like same is the same situation with Mike.
Mike,
Like
I was gonna bring that up because I it's funny because I very much kind of mourned that openly, and then like it was done and I was just like I have to move forward, I'm doing this, I've like basically like, I have things to do, and like I'm trying. But there are still ways that it's been like being expressed like subconsciously, and I see it, I'm like, oh look, I'm clearly still going through a thing, and I should probably like I should address this and I should address this, what am I doing here? But it's funny how it's like I can like I still have that like step away from it where I'm like, oh okay, I see, I'm listening to this song and this song is about the loss of a friend, and I just put it on because and for some reason it just resonates with me, and I'm not even listening to the words until this moment 30 plays in, and I'm like, why am I listening to this song so much right now? And I'm like, oh,
it's
it
your
this makes perfect.
subconscious just like tried to like work like, listen man, if you're not gonna do it, we're gonna do, like, this is
Yeah,
basically us updating your brain while you're in sleep mode. Like
yeah, that's what it is.
this is
Yeah,
what we're doing.
it's like, yeah, it's like we're gonna put this aspect of yourself in autopilot because I know you have to focus consciously on these other things. So like consciously, I'm like, I have this to do and this to do, and here I am, I'm doing it, and my body's just like, don't worry, we will work through all of this emotional stuff in autopilot. You will realize it like mid-flight, and you'll be like, oh, look at the clouds, this is beautiful. How did I get here? You know?
You'll have this amazing experience, and it was just us. Don't worry, that's what we're here for, baby.
that's why we make the big bucks. That's what. Yeah, that's why they get paid. No, it's amazing. Like, and it's obviously it's like terrible and it's depressing, but like I kind of find, beauty in the way that we all have different ways of grieving. And, like
Mhm.
it's nice that our bodies, although not always, sometimes they fight against us, and they keep us in
Mhm.
the quicksand. They keep us in it's like when we don't consciously like shine a light on something, it's like our feet will end up in the dark pits. Like, oh, whoops, I didn't
And
realize
you'll
that.
you'll have a Ricky there not willing to help you.
Not willing to help you at all.
Just mentioning that he was about to grab the camera. I mean, that's what'll happen.
But but yeah, dude, it's just kind of cool, to watch. And like it's nice to see that there are various ways of getting through it. That's all. It's like,
Mm.
like you and I have our ways of getting through it. Tina has her ways of getting through those things, and like we can all kind of be there for each other in one way or another, and sometimes in complementary ways that wouldn't exist otherwise. Like, like Tina can be there
Mhm.
for you in a way that you can't be there for yourself, or I couldn't be there for you, and that's really great. So
And Tina and I do that too sometimes, like because Tina definitely is more of an emotional being than I am, but like she'll have those like random moments where she like comes out of her emotion, like, and I can see the strength in her, so then I can kind of weaken for a second, you know what I'm saying? And like, and then if she starts, it's just it's very ebb and flow. It's like it goes back and forth. So, but yeah, I mean, Eleanor lived 14 years. I mean, her birthday is actually coming up, so she was just shy of 14. But
oh,
14 years, and like we were worried we waited too long, and like before putting her down and stuff. But I don't know, like we as soon as it was like immediately drastic, we took an extreme measure and just like. And if I know Eleanor, like Eleanor would have wanted to stay there until she like was choking on blood. Like that's, I mean, I just
oh
know that. I mean, every dog would, but like Eleanor especially, man, like she was such a like loving and just like
yeah.
Samuel and her are two different dogs. But although, like I said, Samuel has been changing. I've noticed. So
So Eleanor, was she a pit mix? She was.
yeah, I think she was. Our guess is Pit Lab Dalmatian.
Okay,
That's our guess.
so I'm just gonna like I'll share a quick story, like a memory I have of Eleanor, right? Because like just to kind of speak to like how sweet this dog was. Like, so I had a moment. So Eleanor, who I'm trying to remember all of the dogs that were in the house at the time. I know it was obviously Cooper.
If it
It
was
was
my mom's house, we're
yes,
talking
yes,
Cooper, Kayla, which were my mom's
yes,
dogs, the Jack Russell and the Min Pin. Then Shelby and Eleanor, who were
yes,
sisters.
yes.
Shelby was my sisters, and and then Daisy, I think, was around, which was the baby husky at that time. But Daisy's dead now too, actually. But
So
so
okay.
yeah, there was 5 dogs, I think,
So
six
there were
dogs,
a
seven.
lot of dogs. So at some point, I believe it was, I don't remember who it was, but one of the dogs, like probably Cooper, dug under the fence and like found a way like to create a hole, and all of the dogs got out. So
All
so
five, yeah.
all of the dogs got out. So and I remember, so I
It
was
was
like,
literally the Baha Men music video. Like
yes.
it was literally that. It was just that music video. That's what it was.
All of the dogs get out, right? And Steven lived right across the street from this really cool, like nice park, just like a playground with kids, just like this like what do you call it? Just like a path to walk around to ride your bike on, and then there's this nice little like lake canal situation, right?
Mm.
So we all go looking. We're looking for these dogs. Where are? It's a pack of dogs, like a pack of wild dogs. Where could they possibly be? Like, come on, dogs! Like, where did you go? We're all looking, And I just remember I go across the street and I'm looking. And I don't see any dogs, and then just suddenly I see Eleanor and Shelby soaking wet, just all like head to like just like snout to tail, covered in water, dripping, just all the water in the world, and they are just galloping toward me, right? Both of them. And I'm just like, so I went through a whole spectrum of emotion. So I started going, yes, I found the dogs. And then I went, oh my God, this is terrifying, because they're just running at me.
Because I mean, they were big girls.
They were huge. Like, these are like big pit mix dogs. And like, it just occurred to me in a moment where I was like, these are both very wet, very huge dogs running at me. I was like, I could die in this moment. But I stopped and I was just like, Eleanor, and like she like just kind of ran up and like got my stomach all wet and was just like cute, and then like you guys all came and stuff, and we were all like, we got the dogs. No dogs were harmed that day. We got them all, but it was just one of those moments where I was like, anyone else's dog, I would have run the other way. Like, there's no chance.
I'm gone.
There's no chance I would have been like, let me just stand here while these giant pit bull mixes run at my face. Like, no, especially wet like that. But I was like,
Just
I was
just
like, Eleanor's gonna be.
in a frenzy of whatever they're doing.
Oh man, I mean, like they had zoomies in the world,
Yeah.
like the living room's bad enough. They had zoomies so much that they ran into a lake, like a canal, and then got out and attacked me with love.
Like this is the greatest day ever.
Yeah, I mean seriously, but she was such a sweet dog. Though.
When they would get out though, like Eleanor and Shelby too, they were both such good listeners. Like even when they were puppies, like Cooper basically taught them to dig because Cooper couldn't dig enough. Use a Jack Russell, and they would get out, and if we could catch them and open the door, and we'd go, "Hey!" Eleanor, Shelby, and Daisy would just turn around and walk into the door. They wouldn't even try to run, but Cooper would always give that look back, like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself," and just like run off. Like every time, he was the worst. He was just such an asshole of a dog.
My parents, we had a Pomeranian growing up, Dylan Liu Kang Lafusi. Yeah,
epic. I love when dogs have so many names. It's the best.
Man, he used to run away every chance he got. He was a Pomeranian. He was this big and he was white and just like he had no survival skills whatsoever. Like I don't know what world he thought he was living in. He's like, I'm out. I'm like, you get free food and lodging and no one's mean to you here. Like there is no like you get to watch Seinfeld in the
He imagines himself as Fenrir. He's just like, I'm gonna bring Ragnarok. That's what I'm gonna do, Dad.
But it's like I just remember that where it's just like, where could you imagine you're like I just need to know. I almost want to like put a tracker on him and be like, all right, everybody, we're all in this together. It's for science. Nobody
we need to see what his plan is.
I just gotta see, like, how does he think he's gonna? Is he gonna go Lady in the Tramp, like eat some spaghetti with, like, what does he think is about to happen? That's because he's gonna come back. There's no way you don't.
I mean, Pomeranians don't realize that, man. Like, there are so many birds of prey in Florida. Like, I mean, there are so many good-sized birds that could fly down. And
if you can, like an iguana angry enough, it could take on a Pomeranian. Like,
yes,
like, come on,
gators. I mean, it's just the wilds are not meant for the Pomeranians.
So now it's been a few days. It's been a little while. Are you guys, how are you guys feeling? Like, how's it?
We're doing a lot better. Tina and I mean, the beginning of the week was horribly sad. And then the end of the week, Tina and I had planned like a little staycation in St. Pete. We had a friend watch the girls overnight at our house, and we were in St. Pete, and then we ended up going to like, just look at dogs and stuff like that too while we were there. We almost did come home with one, but then like we decided not to. Like it's just too soon.
It's too soon. Yeah.
And plus, whatever dog we pick now, like it definitely needs to bond with Tina because like I don't need that. But Eleanor was really like a really good like almost like an untrained service animal in terms of like anxiety and depression. Like she was really on top of it, Like I'm seeing with
super
Sam.
Intuitive, yeah.
Sam has always been not distant, just doing his own thing. But I've since Eleanor's been gone, I've noticed that he comes around us more often.
That's interesting.
And Tina was like, I think like Sam like was like just wouldn't come to like lay in our bed and wouldn't do those things because Eleanor couldn't. And I think he laid next to Eleanor most nights to be near her. Yeah. And then now that she's gone, like he could he's putting his attention elsewhere.
Like pecking order, like the hierarchy, and like Sam was just like falling in line and recognizing that. And now and that's very sweet. Like, like I like the idea that it's just like, look, if Eleanor can't go, no one should go.
Yeah.
That's
it was sweet. And like like I said, he's definitely more, I mean, he's loving. It's just huskies are different. I call them like they're like cat dogs. They just really are. They do their own thing. They come to you for a little attention here and there, and then they just go and husky. That's what they do. So, but he's become more sweet, so we're going to wait it out, it'll happen again. I mean, weirdly enough, Tina's brother, he has like two or three dogs, and he didn't even, one of them's an older lady dog, and she got pregnant by the young puppy. So he actually has a litter of puppies, and one of them is black and white. So, I mean, there is like that possibility, but I told Tina, I'm like, you just need to enjoy the no allergy thing right now because Sam doesn't really give us allergies because husky fur is different. I don't know if I want another greasy haired dog that gives me a ton of allergies. Like we can just kind of ride this out for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. No rush. No need.
I mean, it's nice though that I know it's kind of a common thing. My dad's gone through that a couple of times where it's just like there's the loss of the dog and you kind of want to fill that void somehow, and
you have to busy yourself,
and it's kind of nice that or that both of you are finding yourselves in that place, and that's cool. Oh man. I know it must have been so freaking hard,
and I've but see like what we do, like I've been like 2 years ago is when my mind was starting to accept
Yes.
this is all borrowed time with Eleanor now. Like any day, any month, it's I wouldn't be surprised anymore. But like my heart has hurt for my girls ever
Yeah.
since I noticed that. I'm like, Cambria and Chase, like it's gonna like that's their animal. Like they've known Eleanor, like it's the first beings when they opened their eyes and looked around, it was Tina, myself, and Eleanor. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Oh man.
but we're all getting through it. The
Yeah.
girls are doing great. Like it's like Cambria let her teacher know that Monday and stuff, just so people could be sensitive to her about it if she's upset. But it hasn't been a problem. She's already seemingly fine. Like she still has her moments at home, but she's good. And like I said, Chase was pretty much good. Chase was like in like real quick. Like Chase was almost in like some sort of like not denial, but like she basically made us tell her what happened because like she was like we had to take Eleanor to the vet and she's gone, Chase. And Chase's like, and then we gotta go pick her up. And I'm like, no, like she's gone. And she's like at the vet. And I'm like, Chase, she's dead. Like cause she like
Yeah.
I knew like Chase knew, but she was just trying to like fish the phrase
To
out.
make sure.
And then she cried for like 10 seconds, and then that was the extent of her emotions on it.
Yeah.
She's different, but she's great too. So
Oh yeah. I mean they're both amazing. But yeah, I mean it's like we were saying though, it's everyone goes through it differently and it's nice that we can all be there for each other regardless. It's kind of cool.
And we're like I said, we're all doing better now. Like I said, I even brought my iPad on the vacation and I was like nailing in time on the pages while it was like it was like 10 o'clock at night. Like when we were getting laid down in the hotel room, I was like,
that's awesome though.
yeah, no, it's awesome. That's why I love having dude, like iPads and stuff. Like, could you imagine like a comic illustrator? Like, I'm on vacation, I got to bring my Bristol boards, my ink pen set, my,
no.
digital is convenient for that factor.
God. All right, Steven. So let's see. Let's shift gears just a little bit. We're going to keep this episode relatively short because we're not going to recover from that. But speaking of recovering and moving on and trying to go forward with our lives and do things. We have some interesting, fun opportunities coming up, and we're gonna try to change up our show a little bit in a fun way. It's not much of a change. It's just being a little bit more ambitious, I think, right?
Absolutely.
So normally on our show we talk about how we overcome our various issues and obstacles in order to get something done, and we make comic books. And we've been pretty successful in that so far. And I feel like that aspect of it, much like other things that we put on autopilot, is kind of on autopilot, for the most part. And like, that's why we get to the point where like we don't talk about the work as much, because we get it's with the comic books, it just goes in motion and it's a process, and then it gets to the point where it's just happening, and then like the weeks it doesn't happen, it's like sometimes it's something like this, or it's just like like I got sick, or it's it's something like and like we work through it, but it's become a bit of old hat at this point where we're like, what,
comic progression is a daily routine now for us. We basically that's just part of our personality. It's just a everyday thing. So
yeah. So like I colored today. I'm gonna color more tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna color a lot tomorrow. But so what we've been talking about is so recently I submitted this script that I pitched on our show for Stakeout, and I wrote the script. I recorded the whole process of writing this thing. I thought it'd be fun. And I did it. I actually finished it, and I submitted it to this contest. And honestly, it's been so interesting and fun to like watch the reviews come in and see how people are responding to it, and like the strangers responding to it in different ways, and it's been really cool. But the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, why aren't we just making this movie? Like, it's not. I deliberately wrote this so we could make it, and it's very simple. We don't need much, and we can totally do it. So I was like. So I brought it up to you, and I was like, what I would like to do is I would like to cast it with the select few people whom I've already reached out to, and do a live table read of the script on our show at some point. So just like we'll make a live episode. We'll say, here it is. We're gonna try to read through the script and do our best. It's probably gonna be a just crazy ridiculous like series of follies.
Free for all.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get silly. But what that will teach me is like where jokes work, where they don't work, where they can definitely be punched up, what lines I can tweak and make sound a little more natural or better or whatever, or what scenes I can like fix up. That's for me one of the best ways you can rewrite something like that. So what I want to do is I want to do that. We'll get together, record that. I'll use that information to rewrite this script, and then I want to launch a Kickstarter and make a movie. And just like I want to come up with like a budget and figure out how much it would cost, find out who's going to actually play the parts in real life, and then just make a movie. But dude, the thing is, I don't feel like we have to be in a movie, and I feel like a noodle person. I'm not very secure with the fact, like I can be on camera like this and be like, oh, like maybe if I light it only from a certain angle, like everyone knows their angles or whatever. It's but I'm just like I want to feel more confident from other angles, and I'm just like I want to feel more confident, and I should do that anyway.
You and I have like the same angle that we like, so we're just always in like weird like scenes. Listen, we have to look good at all times. So
into one direction.
This is not how two people would sit in a car, but this is how we got to shoot it. So
that is how it's got to be shot. This is the only.
You just crudely like I'm looking at you like this, and you just crudely Photoshop my head like this. I'm talking.
So in order for us to feel more confident and in our various angles and not have to puppeteer the same angle, Steve and I have decided together that we're both going to try to become camera ready. We're both going to become movie ready, right, dude? So what is our plan here?
So I've actually already started. So
freaking brag, man. But success.
I mean, I don't know if it's amounted to anything yet, but so since I work construction, most times when I grab food, it's on the go and it's not good stuff. Yeah. So I've made a conscious effort, and it's not a huge one, but I've completely shifted out of full flavor soda to mostly like sparkling water, like Topo Chico and stuff like that. Or if I really do want a soda, I get like a zero. So I've completely cut out sugared sodas. That's a lot of
sugar, yeah.
So that's a good. So then my next goal this week is to like really like I want to start packaging my lunch again and bringing like shredded chicken and spinach salads like I used to. Because I mean, when Tina and I went on paleo for a little bit there, I was down like a lot. So my goal is to just keep maintaining like a solid diet and like removing those things and then just allowing my job to sculpt me because my job does, but just getting rid of the excess dad bod, basically.
Awesome. Goal. I mean, I think that's a smart and good goal. Like we don't need to be like, I need to be exactly this weight. I need to look exactly like, Chris Hemsworth or whatever, like we don't have to do that. But like, I think both of us doing whatever works for us to feel healthier will definitely, boost that. And it's a good place to start. I'm definitely going to, I mean, I've been like snacking late nights. Cause like, I do this and then I edit and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry suddenly. So I either eat, like I make a big meal really quick or I'm like, I grab something really fast. That's not good for me. I'm like, oh, I have a bag of chips in here. Let me just eat this whole bag of Ruffles, and
dude, one night, like I actually did really well. Like I ate dinner. I didn't eat like my 8 o'clock snack that I usually do. Yeah. And I went to bed and my ass, dude, it was so funny. Like, I actually made myself laugh because I like was just asleep. And at 2 a.m, I just sprung out of bed and I like did this little march like this, like my body's like, no, you're going to the fridge. You have to eat that snack. And I was like, dude, I'm not even joking. It's like made myself laugh. I'm like, why am I like cheerfully marching to the fridge right now? Like my body's like, nah, you missed 8 o'clock. It's 2 a.m. You better eat something. And I'm like, this is such a pointless, like these are pointless calories I'm putting in my system right now. You can wait. My body was too happy. I couldn't say no. It was dancing basically for that food.
That's the best breakfast. I mean, you broke the fast way early. I mean, if the hobbits can do it, you can do it. But yeah, dude. So like, I personally like I need to start like doing some sort of like physical exertion again. Like I am not, because I don't have a physically demanding job. I stand in place and talk to the elderly. That's what I do. So I'm just like, I'm gonna start lifting weights again. I don't know, like I just want to I want to feel like I'm not as like I want to feel like someone couldn't put a string on me and throw me into a hurricane and like fly me. Like I want to feel I want to feel like I couldn't stand in front of a used car lot and like sell a car. I want to feel like I think what's like mostly unfair for you is that like you're not like
like super, like not even to use offensive, but not even super skinny or anything. But I think right next to me, like the true Bert and Ernie fashion, like it just
Yeah.
creates that Jonah Hill, Michael Cera situation.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd like to like fill out this shirt a little more.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's. I wanna tighten. I wanna tighten it up, Steven. But I feel like I like the idea of like I want definitely want to eat more healthy than I've been eating, recently, and I want to exercise. I want to try to exercise. I'm gonna start 3 times a week. I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna do it every single day and blah blah blah, but I'm going to like 3 times a week. I'm going to actively be like, here I'm going to lift this amount of weights. I'm going to do this many like push-ups, jumping jacks, and freaking like burpees or whatever. I want to also, Steven, like why have we not been actively trying to get our butts in order? Like I don't understand. Like we accept
So like
ill like lifestyle, and we were
I
like,
basically like looked in the mirror and I'm just like, you know what? You got a good set of hair. You're over you're decently over 6 foot. You don't really need to work on a lot when it comes to the physical department. Steve. You just coast these golden locks and height until the day you die. You just ride that wave, baby. But I don't know why am I saying baby after so many phrases in this episode? I think it's the third or fourth time I've used it. Yeah, the baby sode. But like, dude, you know what I'm thinking? Because like I like to snack on them, but they're kind of high in calories. Cashews are pretty fatty and high in protein, and I mean, start munching some chocolate.
I was gonna say
chocolate covered cashews.
That was
like,
what
if you want.
Yeah, that's what I started last time. I started exercising and like trying to get more into that. I started eating so many cashews. I was just like, this is good for my heart, and it's also just making me big.
And they're just like we're the fattiest of nuts, baby. Damn, I did it again. I genuinely didn't mean to do that.
I need a supercut of all of the baby.
They're easy to eat. Basically,
I don't know. So like, it's so funny because I've like we've known each other forever. I'm not someone who like I don't take off my shirt. I don't like even when I go to the beach. Like I'm very reluctant to be like, oh, I can't wait to take off this t-shirt. I just wear a t-shirt for most of the time, and I'm just like, oh god, I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
I just roll my jeans up and walk into the ocean for just a little bit.
Yeah, so it's just like I never feel, so I was like should I do like a before and after thing and really commit to it, not to show it publicly, but just like so I could see it, and then maybe if there if there is some kind of like, oh look, I actually look like I could be like a lesser X-Man, like I was like not like I want to be a
less man.
A less man. I don't think that's gonna make it. That's gonna make anyone interested in me. Like I'm not gonna like. You know what I am right now? Less man. I'm trying to bulk up a little, Steven. No, I want more. I need more. But no, but it's just I don't know, dude. So I think I might do a before and after thing, but at the same time, like I have that like insecurity where I'm like I don't want anyone to ever see this, but I do want to see it. Like I want to see
the progress.
I want to see the progress, but I'm like, how do I hide this picture? How do I hide it so no one ever gets it? I know the government has it already. I haven't even taken it. The government has it.
We've already estimated the algorithm. The AI art bots have already estimated what you would look like with just a little bit more beef.
27 fingers. Yeah. Like with all of my exercising, I'm gonna grow more fingers. That's what I really want.
You know who's kicking all of our butts at this game already is Tina, man. She's like lost like 30 pounds in like 2 months.
Tina is in the movie. No, she's in the movie.
She's every character.
Oh man, it's going to be interesting. So we'll talk about that more next week. Obviously, this week it had to get heavy for a reason, and I'm sure we're going to continue to work through that. We'll have other weeks like this. It'll happen. We really appreciate you all being here for us, Steven. So this week, with everything, what are you going to try to get done this week?
So granted, it's cheating to say this, but I've already done I already inked the first 2 panels of page 3, which they're the 2 small ones, and then there's the big splash. But I'll send that to you. So I want to finish page 3 and start page 4. And then I need to start roughing some more because I was glad I got 2 roughs done. And now I have like 2 pages I can just work on. But
do you have any definite goals for your movie ready body?
So I'm going to start weighing myself, and then I'll probably get more critical of like how many pounds are dropping prior to whenever we decide to film. like, the 3 months before we decide to film.
Right.
But like right now, my goal is to just start limiting like what I'm putting in my body at work, because it's tough, man.
Cool.
Because when you work construction, you have
Yes.
trucks that drive by with tacos. You
Oh,
have
I know.
gas stations and fast food. That's
Okay.
like
That's yeah, no, that's totally fair. So this week it's more of like it's a little ambiguous, but it's just like you're gonna do your best to just
no
cut out.
sodas, no fast food is my goal this week.
Got it. Okay. No, that's a really good one. This week I'm gonna say no chips after 8 o'clock. Because that's been, that's just like grossness in me. If I'm going to be eating snacks, I do want it to be something that's a little bit more substantial. Something like cashews or something that's going to actually help.
Avocado toast would be a good snack.
I know, but I'm allergic to avocados.
Oh yeah, it's so painful. You know what's crazy about it?
They're so
Dude,
good.
It chooses when I'm not having it. Like my body's like, one day it's like, oh no, avocados are fine today, and then the other day it's like, why would you put this poison in your body?
Yeah, that's my body might be that same way, because that's how I was, and I got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, I don't like the way this is, and I'm scared it might get worse, so I'm just gonna cut it.
It's like a very painful cramp. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So I get it.
So I'm going to cut out like bad snacks at night. I'm also going to actively 3 days this week. I'm going to do at least 100 push-ups. I'm going to curl my weights, and I'm going to do some jumping jacks and do some cardio stuff, and I'm going to actively exercise for 3 days. That's my plan this week. And on top of that, in addition to that, I'm going to finish page 1, which will take no time at all because I have like one character left, I think. And I'm going to try to flat all of page 2 because you've sent it to me, right?
And I know. Well, I'll send you the appropriate file, and then I'll also add that shoulder pad that.
Okay. Cool.
Which is actually on the smaller arm that you don't really see anyway. So it's gonna be a quick little thing to add, like 5 minutes if that.
Sweet. So I'm gonna try to finish those 2 pages. And I'm gonna start lettering the first page. I'm gonna start it. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. We'll see. I have some other things I have to do for like Critically Stupid and other things. I also started just for like my own mental well-being. I've started going to the open mic night again on Wednesdays.
On Howl?
At Howl, yeah, I started going to that. I started. I went 2 weeks ago. I didn't go last week, and I'm gonna go this week. Maybe I'll just go every other week. But like, it's nice. It's fun. It's something that like I get to get out of the house a little bit and not just sit in my room. It's kind of it's nice to get out and
Howl's only like 10-15 minutes from my house, really.
Yeah. So, and at some point, like I've been just going there. Like I like going there and just being like the audience, But at some point, I'd like to go and just like play, like the 2 of us. That would be cool.
That'd be cool too.
But it's cool. It's really small still. Like not a lot of people are going, but I kind of like it. I like that vibe.
We've always kind of been attracted. Like for example, we don't even really go to we don't go to Rackham's anymore for other reasons too. But Rackham's kind of started becoming lame once a lot of people started going to Rackham's. You know what I'm saying?
I like small community vibes, which is like. Of course, I want people to subscribe to our podcast and like it and like hopefully help us build this thing that we're building. But I really love this little family that we have here. I like, I love that feeling. I like the intimacy of it. And I like that, it's like my Dunbar number. Like I only know my relationship with so many people, and I like it to be a little bit more than like the superficial relationship you can have in a larger, group setting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at that stuff because I'm like, who are you? I don't know you. I don't know you. I've never seen you. I don't want to trust you, And I don't know. So I like it. I like being like, haha, I know it's Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yeah. And they're always glad you came. They're not upset at your presence.
Exactly. These are my people. But yeah, so I'm going to also do that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. But I feel good about what we're doing. Dude, I'm so sorry about Eleanor. I know that.
It's good. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Of course, you were super understanding last week and you soloed that episode like a champ. No problem. But yeah, we're gonna get through it. I mean, like I said, we're already in a pretty good place. We have banana splits after dinner tonight. Tina made some banana splits for the girls and stuff.
Amazing.
So, but yeah, we're doing good. We'll be good.
All right, but thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate the heck out of you. And I know this has been a little bit of a darker episode, but we're here for each other, and like it's the right thing to do. It's what we do. It's what we do. It's what we do. Like if you made it this far, then we love you and note that. Like we really appreciate you and we're thankful for you. But remember to tell all of your friends to subscribe to our podcast because we freaking need them to understand how good the show is. This is the best show in the world, Steven. This is the best podcast. No podcast has ever been as good as no. But I love you, dude. I
you
think
too, man.
yeah, I know it's been a rough one, but I'm glad we're getting through it. Next week we're gonna start this journey. We're starting this journey this week of becoming superhero movie body people, and we can do this.
We're gonna be Chris Hamsworth and Jay Beefashell is what we're gonna be.
Jay Beefashell. I am all here for Jay Beefashell. I need it. But thank you all so much. I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next week.
Baby. No,